And welcome back to the Speakeasy Live Show here from the SoCal CC Expo. We've got my co-host here, Andrew Palladino, Big Tony, and of course, Benjie Cooper with the news for you today. Benjie, go ahead and tell us what the first news story of the day is.
All right, well, if you're a military veteran with PTSD and like to smoke cannabis, then you may want to talk to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. The VA researchers in Arizona and Maryland are looking for 76 volunteer combat veterans to be tested in a new study for 12 weeks, with 4 of the subjects beginning each month between both sites. The entire study is expected to take around 2 years to complete. Subjects will be given 2 joints worth of cannabis to smoke each day to demonstrate to researchers how the plant might relieve symptoms of PTSD. Physician and study organizer Dr. Sue Sisley says, "We're not arguing that cannabis is a cure, but our hypothesis is that it will at least reduce the symptoms. The ideal candidate will have a disability rating from the VA for combat-related PTSD, but otherwise be generally healthy. Those with traumatic brain injuries will be eligible to participate."
Eligible. I like that one.
And if you're interested in participating in the study in Arizona, you can email your information to arizona@marijuanasites.org. And in Baltimore, call 410-550-0050.
There you go. Well, I mean, we talk a lot about the PTSD issue, and it seems like this conversation keeps resonating that, PTSD and CBD go hand in hand. There's right. A correlation there. There's a lot of research out there. And the more of this that keeps coming forward, the more likely we are to see, real, veracity and real test results that actually verify that this is something that's going to help veterans.
Absolutely. Right. And this is the VA that's conducting this study.
Right.
So this is pretty big because they've been closed to the whole idea in the past. So this is them opening up at least a little bit to 76 combat veterans with PTSD.
Right. And that's a federal government agency.
Yes.
So
is it the first 76? Because I'm sure there's probably a lot more than 76 applying right now.
Yes. Well, they're going to start with 76, and it's going to be, they're going to bring them in 4 at a time.
4 at a time.
And it's going to be a 2-year study that they're going to take to complete.
Finally, we're going to help our veterans.
I wish I served, because that way I could just get 2 joints for free every day.
Right?
Doesn't sound bad to me.
Big price to pay for 2 joints.
This is true. I don't want PTSD. Never mind, I said that. That's my fault.
Yeah, that's right.
You can get a new patient deal there. Just keep going from shop to shop.
What else do you have in the news today for us, Benjie?
All right. Well, as of this week, licensed physicians in New South Wales, Australia, are now allowed to prescribe the use of medical cannabis to certain patients who need it. New South Wales Premier Mike Baird says people who are seriously ill should be able to access these medicines if they are the most appropriate step in their treatment. Under the new law, which went into effect August 1st, Australians with a prescription will be able to purchase cannabis in flower and oil forms from licensed medical cannabis outlets in the state. Previously, medical cannabis use in Australia had been limited to strictly controlled state trials, but changes made to laws earlier this year have allowed for its use outside of research trials, as long as a licensed physician believes it can help with their ailment.
Okay. Well, hey, there you go. Our neighbors to the south there are ready to go. I mean, Australia has been quite progressive in legalizing and working towards, the allowance of medical cannabis in their communities. So this is just another step in the right direction from down under.
Plus, I also think they're the ones that have ruderalis, right?
Yeah.
They have the other weed that no one ever gets.
Right. Ruderalis is like it's a low THC, I believe, high CBD.
Right.
I believe you can find it here in the United States, too.
They
refer to it as ditchweed a lot of times.
Yeah, it's kind of side of the road.
I don't know that a lot of people are out seeking that, though.
No, but I would want to try the extract.
Yeah, and it may not be high in THC, and people might call it ditchweed, but it's going to be high in other things like CBD, which is great. Definitely beneficial.
That'll help you out, Big Tony.
I could use it right now.
You'll be calmer.
I'm using CBD living water.
There it is, CBD living water. CBD, what else you got in the news for us today, Benjie?
What's that?
All right, well, after a bevy of public outcry, federal prosecutors have announced that they're dropping marijuana possession charges against a Native American teenager in the state of Oregon. A 19-year-old Devontre Thomas was caught with 1 gram of marijuana at Salem's Chemawa Indian School, which is operated by the Bureau of Indian Education, which is an arm of the federal government. Thomas was initially facing a year in prison for the 1 gram of marijuana he was caught with, But an agreement filed in federal court on Tuesday stipulates that if Thomas obeys the law and holds down a job for 60 days, the federal misdemeanor drug possession charges will be dropped. Public defender Ruben Iniguez says, I think it's a fair resolution in the case. I would sincerely hope that no one else, adult or minor, has to be faced with the same dilemma, the heavy hand of government.
A fair resolution? Wow.
I don't think that's fair, too. You're asking a stoner to hold down a job for 60 days.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, that's very unrealistic in and of itself.
60 days, maybe like 2 weeks.
How about 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days. If I come back tomorrow, I should be off probation.
Those are some serious short-term goals right there.
Right. We're talking about 1 gram of marijuana.
And he was facing up to a year in
And he
prison
spills
for
that.
that 1 gram.
The federal government likes to go to the mattresses like this, though, right? When they find you, if you're in San Francisco and you have a joint, but you cross the Presidio and get pulled over at the wrong moment, you're going. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing you can do.
Just perched there waiting for you.
Yeah, like a hawk.
Yeah.
And they sit there and they just wait and they're like, oh, you have 1 gram? We'll take a year of your life. Yeah. Who does this?
I think at this point, if there's
Uncle
any
Sam.
of that kind of thing going on, it's last ditch. Get your kicks in while you can because the legalization, everything's coming.
Yeah. And we just want to prove a point that we can still stick it to you when we want to.
Right.
There it is.
That's what it sounds like.
But
Well,
thankfully,
brother.
this young man was able to get off with no punishment.
Relatively.
Just
He
say
could
keep your
survive.
nose
Well,
clean
that's
and we're not
assuming
gonna
he gets
charge
through
you.
the 60 days of keeping a
Right.
job, okay?
That's not bad. All
He can come get hired at the Speakeasy live show.
Right, there you go.
We
All
got a
right.
spot for you.
Well, check it out. That was the news with Benjie Cooper. We'll
Absolutely.
be right back with more of the Speakeasy Live Show.
Coming live from the SoCal CC Expo.
That's it,
In
baby.
beautiful
forget
downtown San Diego.
Downtown San Diego. Thank you to all our sponsors. Speakeasy 710, CBD Living Water, all the good stuff.
We'll be right back.